Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the Game Awards 2024 nominee announcement in parentheses vote now. I have with me Didge from the Didge D and Geek Set channels. What's going on, Didge?
How's it going? Happy to be here. Happy to see what's announced and see what, or not announced, but what's nominated.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
See
it seems
what we're
like
voting for.
there's been some drama going on the timelines. I've tried to stay pretty much blind to this, so I know very little information, but from what I've seen, people are upset, and I don't know if it's just grifting or if people are genuinely upset. So we'll see.
We'll talk after. I know why people are upset.
Oh.
And they should have
the
expected it.
Game Award, and the Game Award goes to.
Let's see.
And the Game Award.
Game Award.
They 100% should have expected it.
And the winner is.
There was one thing I saw that, if it's true, I didn't expect actually.
10 years ago, we began a journey together to celebrate
Good
video
Jeff.
games as the biggest, most
He's been
powerful
wearing like
form of
felt suits, I
entertainment in the
feel
world.
like, recently.
And on
I was just
Thursday,
about to say,
December
I don't
12th,
like this
right
suit
here at
jacket.
Peacock
Oh,
Theater in
okay.
Los Angeles. We recognize
I was
that
gonna say, I
Jimmy,
like
what's
it.
next?
I like it. Looks
It's the 10th
soft.
anniversary
It looks like
of
the
the
kind
Game
of jacket
Awards.
you wear when
Hey
you go out
everybody,
with
I'm
some
Jeff
ladies,
Keeley.
so that way
Welcome
they
to
be
the
feeling
TGA
on you,
Global
I would do
Nomination
it.
Announcement
Okay.
Special. Today, it is my distinct
Maybe that
honor
was his
to reveal
plan.
this
I
year's
also don't like his
nominees,
background.
recognizing talented game developers from studios
Well,
big
I
think it's
and
be-
small around the world.
I don't like it.
You can help select the winners
with
by
it.
voting right now at thegameawards.com.
It is a little
All right,
dark.
you've waited
Kinda-
long enough,
he's kinda
so let's do it. Here are the
lost
nominees
in
for
the
the
darkness
Game
a little
Awards
bit.
2024.
Yeah, it's just like head in hand.
The stakes are high
Oh,
in this old Spice
commercials,
championship
Jeff.
match.
For Best Ongoing Game, the nominees are Destiny 2,
Okay.
Diablo 4,
Oh, okay.
Final Fantasy 14,
Okay, that makes sense.
Fortnite,
All right.
and Helldivers 2.
Oh, look at that.
Your best performance
Let's go,
nominees are
Helldivers!
Brianna White for Final Fantasy VII
Oh,
Rebirth.
okay. They should have put
Hannah
the
Tell for
character
Life is
that she
Strange
played.
Double Exposure.
I know that one was I know that one was Aerith, but the last girl, I assume that was Max.
Fantasy VII Rebirth. Hannah Tell for Life
Who,
is
her?
Strange
Yeah,
Double
I
Exposure.
think this is Max. that she
Umberly
plays.
Gonzalez for Star Wars
That's
Outlaws.
what's her face?
Luke
Main
Roberts,
character.
Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Melina Jurgens, Senua Saga, Hellblade 2. For
And
I'm
Best
assuming
Mobile
she's
Game,
Senua?
the nominees are
Yes, yeah.
AFK
Okay.
Journey,
That was,
Balatro,
you're
Oh,
right. They
Pokemon
should have.
Pokemon Trading
Yeah,
Card
I
Game
feel like they have
Pocket,
before.
Wuthering Waves,
Let's go, Pokemon
and
trading card game.
Zenless
Pocket.
Already?
Zero.
Already?
The nominees
Oh,
for
yeah,
Best
man.
Art
I'm
Direction
in.
are Astrobot,
Oh, okay.
Black
Well,
Myth
that's-
Wukong,
ooh.
Elden
Nah.
Ring Shadow of the Earth Tree,
Ooh.
Metaphor Re
Oh,
Fantasio,
damn.
and Neva.
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
Oh, that's a
man.
tough category.
This year's
That's a very
nominees
tough
are
category.
Ooh.
Astrobot,
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII
Oh,
Rebirth,
yeah.
Metaphor Re
Yeah. Oh, I haven't listened to
Fantasio,
much of Metaphor.
Silent
I
Hill
haven't
2,
either.
and Stellar Blade.
Oh,
In the
Mm,
category
okay,
of Best
okay.
Audio Design, these games are nominated: Astrobot,
okay.
Call of Duty Black Ops
Astrobot
6,
might. There's
Final
a lot of
Fantasy
chances to
VII
get awards
Rebirth,
here.
They
Senua
do.
Saga, Hellblade 2,
It's
and
gotta be Hellblade. I think.
Silent Hill 2.
You think so?
Best
Yeah,
Adaptation
yeah.
recognizes excellence in authentically
They, like,
creating shows, movies, and
Make
other
new
creative
technology
endeavors
every time they
based
do
on
one of
video
those
game
games
worlds.
for audio.
This year's nominees for Best Adaptation: Arcane,
Okay.
Fallout,
Oh.
Knuckles,
Oh.
and
Oh,
Like
no,
a
no.
Dragon
Fallout.
Yakuza, and
Oh,
It might be
no.
Fallout.
Tomb Raider: The
It's
Legend
for
of
It's
sure
Zelda.
between
Fallout.
Fallout and what was the first one? Arcane. It's between
Arcane.
Fallout and Arcane. It depends on
Ar-
if people are leaning towards like the live action side or the animation side.
So the
Best
reason why I
narrative
think
in-
it's Fallout is because Arcane, it already had a season 1 that was really popular.
Yes.
Fallout kind of came out of nowhere and took the world by storm.
That's fair. That's true. I can see it. Okay.
The game, the TGA nominees are Final Fantasy VII Rebirth,
Okay.
Like a
I
Dragon:
don't know about
Infinite
that.
Wealth,
As far
For
as it
best
winning,
narrative?
yeah, it does have a good narrative, but it's also like, it's the remake of the original game, and they didn't change a whole lot. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna get it. But let me go back.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon:
I
Infinite
don't know
Wealth,
much about that story.
Metaphor Re
I don't either.
Fantasio, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2.
I feel like
and
Senna's not gonna win.
Silent
That's the only
Hill 2.
comment I can make on that.
Games for
unfortunately.
Impact celebrates thought-provoking games with a profound pro-social
Might be
meaning
Silent
or
Hill
message.
2.
Here are this year's nominees. Closer the Distance, Indica, Neva,
Oh, never
Life
might
is
be up
Strange
there.
Double
People
Exposure,
are not liking Life is Strange.
Senua's Saga
right now.
Hellblade 2,
Really?
and
Yeah.
Tales of Kenzera.
The last two
Zao.
chapters kind of
The
fell
nominees
apart
for
a bit.
Best Community Support.
Oh, they had Tales of Kenzera up there. That's cool. At least
I'm hoping that wins.
they'll be a part of the nominees.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. I feel like Neva has a decent shot.
Are Baldur's Gate 3,
I feel like Neva's
Final
gonna win,
Fantasy
but I'm just
14,
hoping.
Yeah.
Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and
Helldivers 2 is probably
No
gonna win.
Man's Sky.
Let's
fine.
go.
In the category of Best Multiplayer, the nominees are Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8,
Oh.
and Warhammer 40,000,
Tekken
Space
could-
Marine 2.
Oh, maybe Space Marine. I
Best
don't know. That one kind of
independent
came out of
game
nowhere.
celebrates games with a
I don't know,
high
that
I haven't
was-
heard too many
degree
people
of risk
talking about it.
tolerance.
Kind of a stat
They are
category.
produced
Yeah,
outside
recently
of
no.
the traditional publisher system. The nominees are
I'm gonna hope for
Animal
Helldivers
Well.
there too.
Balatro,
Oh, Animal Well's up
Lorelei
there.
and the Laser
Balatra's
Eyes,
up there.
Neva, and
What's
UFO
up
50.
UFO
Next is
50
Best
is
Debut
up
Indie
there.
Game, which recognizes a development team that hasn't won a Game Award before. In fact, these teams published
Oh,
their
that's nice.
first game in 2024. The nominees are Animal Well, Balatro,
Good grief.
Manor Lords, Pacific Drive,
There's so many
and
repeats on
The
here.
Plucky Squire. For Best VR AR game, the
Plucky
nominees
Squire.
are Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's
impression's not
Wrath
great.
2, Batman Arkham
I hope
Shadow,
Batman was actually
Metal
pretty sick
Hellsinger
from what I
VR,
saw, which I'm
and
so happy about.
Metro Awakening.
Yeah, from what I saw, it
For
looked
Content
great.
Creator of the Year,
I
the
hope they
nominees
port
are
it to
Queso,
regular console.
Ilawan, Techno Gamers, Typical Gamer, and Usada Pecora. Part of
Oh,
the Game
that-
Awards is
I
looking
don't know.
forward to what's
That
next.
was-
And yes, we'll have lots of
That
games to
sounded
announce
really
on December
different.
12th. What's the most anticipated upcoming
I don't know if
game?
Jeff said
Here
that
are the
one.
nominees based on currently announced titles.
Dang.
Death Stranding 2,
Okay.
On the Beach, Ghost of
Oh,
Yote,
this is it. This is it.
Grand Theft
Oh, never
Auto
mind.
There it
It's
is.
GTA.
There it is.
Metroid
That's
Prime 4
unfortunate.
Beyond, and Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah, it's GTA.
The best
That's-
action
Yeah, for
adventure
sure.
nominees are Astrobot, Prince of Persia: The
Oh, I
Lost
hope
Crown,
Lost Crown wins.
Silent Hill 2,
Let's see what else is in here.
Star Wars Outlaws, and The
good on
Legend
them.
of Zelda: Echoes of
Oh, damn.
best role player,
I hope
the
Lost
jury
Crown still
selected
wins, but
Wisdom,
that's gonna
Dragon's
be
Dogma
tough.
2, Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erd Tree,
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor: ReFantasia.
Metaphor might be up there for
Category of
this
Best
one.
Fighting, the nominees are Dragon Ball Sparking Zero,
Oh, Sparking's gotta be up.
Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom
Ooh,
Fighting Collection Arcade Classics,
Interesting.
Multiversus, and Tekken 8.
I still think it's
The
between
nominees for Best
Tekken and
Action
Sparking,
are-
in my opinion.
Black Myth
Yeah.
Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. Innovation
Might be
in
Stellar Blade
accessibility
or Black Myth
celebrates
Wukong.
games that are making our
I was
industry
leaning towards
available and enjoyable to
Wukong.
more people. Selected
Yeah,
by
I
a special
could see
committee of
Wukong.
accessibility experts, the nominees for innovation in accessibility are Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age: The Veilguard,
That one could be up there.
Prince of Persia: The Lost
Yeah.
Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws.
I don't know a
Next
lot
up,
about the
Best
accessibility
Family
features,
Game.
but I know
The nominees
Dragon
are-
Age was up there.
Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime, Super
forgot
Mario
this game
Party
came out this
Jamboree,
year.
The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom,
Hmm.
and The Plucky Squire.
What does best family game mean though? Is it like a game to play with the family? A game that everyone in the family could play? What does
It's
it
gotta be everyone because it can't be with the family. 'Cause every one of those games was single player, right? Go.
Jamboree was on there, I think.
Was Jamboree on there? Okay.
It's I don't know. Every year I feel like they don't really clarify what this is.
Next up, Best Family Game. The
Let's
nominees
see.
are Astrobot,
This is a single player game.
Princess
Single player.
Peach
Single
Showtime,
player
Single
game.
player.
Super Mario Party
Multiplayer game.
Jamboree,
Okay.
The Legend
Single
of
player
Zelda:
game.
Echoes
Single
of
player.
Wisdom, and The Plucky
And
Squire.
then single player.
Yeah.
The best
So that's
sim
just like,
strategy
okay, I'm
nominees
still
are
confused, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's like game that the kiddies could play category. I
Then it
think.
might be Plucky Squire. That's a game for sure.
Honestly, it could be, but I think we could talk more afterwards. I feel
Yeah.
like Princess Peach might have a good edge
So-
on that. Either that or Jamboree.
Princess Peach, you could be right. It came and went so quickly to me.
It
And I don't know if that's
did.
just
Yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I don't know if that's just the people who around me are gaming.
Yeah,
Like maybe they just weren't into it, but I swear I feel like that game came and went.
that is fair. I feel like in the greater gaming sphere, it did, but like there was a lot of hype around it, at least locally in New York. Like I saw they had like an in-person event where they invited a bunch of like well, not anybody in specific, but like the public got to go check it out. It was mostly like moms bringing their daughters, or just like a lot of like women were there. So
That's cool.
so like
maybe
it
then.
could maybe.
That sounds like it should be family.
Yeah, I think so. But we'll see.
Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kunitsugami Path of the
Oh,
Goddess,
I kind of hope this one wins.
Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord.
Oh, that's
This year, these titles are nominated for Best Sports Racing.
Both are really
F1 24,
highly ranked.
EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K25, Top Spin 2K25, and WWE 2K24.
No college football. This is the
All right,
eight.
let's
That-
take a
That's
look.
that is
actually
the
insane.
snub.
That's
That is
insane.
the snub.
Yeah, how did that not get on the list? That's
That is-
crazy.
That is the snub.
But I also
This-
feel
this-
like this category doesn't make sense to me either, because it's always sports/racing games, and I like why. I guess racing.
There's not enough
It's
racing
considered a
games.
sport, I guess, right?
Yeah, racing's for sure a sport, and there's just not enough racing games. There's-
Well, I don't
to-
know. There's Forza, there's Gran Turismo. Apparently, there's an F1 game now.
Yeah, but Forza doesn't
Um,
release yearly, right? And neither
I
does
don't
Gran
believe
Turismo.
so. Yeah, no. I
So,
don't think
like,
so.
I think that's sort of the issue with racing games. Like, let me see, racing. let me
Well,
Google.
those are just the big ones I know of. Like on the indie level, I've seen a ton of like little racing games.
Let's see.
But
I mean, yeah, there's a handful.
yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say the category is big, like what you were saying, but I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. It's a tough decision to make with splitting that category, but not having college football, I think is kind of crazy.
Look at our 3 esports categories.
Snub.
Starting with Best Esports Game. The nominees are Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and
What the hell?
Valorant. The nominees for Best Esports Athlete are
Oh,
Is that an
3-3.
offshoot of League of Legends? It also
Lexi
logo
B.
looks very close to it.
Ju-
I think it is. It's interesting that Bang Bang is in their
Xylem,
name.
and Kong Kong. And for the Best
That is what?
Wait,
That
was
is
not
not what
the
the
name
name that
and Kong Kong.
that must be what the KK is for. But it's like, what is the ZMJJ?
No. Just move on.
I didn't expect you to go that way.
And for the Best Esports
Oh.
Team, our Special Esports Committee nominated these teams. Billy Gaming, League of Legends.
See,
Gen
they
G,
do it.
League
What
of
can
Legends.
I do?
Navi, Counter-Strike. T1, League of Legends. And Team Liquid, Dota 2.
Yeah, I know nothing.
All
about
right, it's
esports.
time for our final
Same.
2 categories. For Best Game Direction, which recognizes outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design, the nominees are
Astrobot. Yeah.
Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong,
Mm.
Elden Ring Shadow of
I
the
don't know
Erd
if Black
Tree,
Myth wins this one.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasia.
That's a tough. That's a
And
tough
finally,
category.
our
That is a tough
global
category.
TGA jury, of which I am not a member, has selected the following 6
Had
games
to make sure
as
y'all know.
nominees for Game of
Right.
the Year at the Game Awards 2024.
Oh, I think he's. if it's controversial, that might be why he's like, just so y'all know, this is not on me.
I mean, I feel like by now you know what the big controversy was that got nominated.
The Game of the Year nominees are Astrobot from Team Asobi,
There it is.
Balatro
kidding.
from
I was about to be like, really?
No, I'm kidding.
Black Myth Wukong by Game Science, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree by From Software, Final Fantasy VII
Oh, was it
Rebirth
Elden
from
Ring? Was
Square
that the
Enix,
controversy?
and
That was the big controversy.
Metaphor Refantasio from
Because
Studio
it's a
Zero.
DLC, and they're like, should a
There you
DLC
have
be
it. Those are
considered
your
Game of the
nominees for
Year?
Game
I mean,
of the
he said
Year.
every
Yes,
year
that
that,
means
like,
you'll hear
anything
the
could
Game
go for
Awards
any
Orchestra
category,
conducted
so.
by Lauren Balfe.
That's
play
the
their
crazy
themes
part.
live on this very stage on December 12th.
But, you
But
know,
before then, you should head to the
So, well, we can. Let me see what this
GameAwards.com
says.
to help select the winners by casting your ballot in all categories. Also, stay tuned for the announcement of our Player's Voice category.
there's not, like, a
where
best
fans
DLC
100%
category.
select
Well,
the winner
not
from
every
30
year.
nominees. We'll announce those nominees on Monday, December 2nd. The winners in all categories will be revealed live during the Game Awards when it streams globally on Thursday, December 12th, starting with the opening
But
act
here's
at
the thing,
7:30
though.
p.m. Eastern,
So
4:30
many
p.m. Pacific,
people
12:30
that have played,
GMT at the
Erd Tree
GameAwards.com.
have said Game
Our
of the
team
Year.
cannot wait.
So-
I'm
for
not
our
gonna
10th
I'm not gonna
anniversary
hold you.
showdown.
I'm voting
I
for
hope to
it.
see you
That's
there.
what I'm saying.
Don't
Like,
forget,
they can't be
Hashtag.
crying about it now. They say it all year. Game of the Year. They said it.
I will be voting for that. So I'm not the person who you should say this to.
I'm just talking to the people. I'm like, listen, if you're mad about this and you played Erd Tree and you said Game of the Year, you are part of the problem. You are part of the problem that you think is happening. I don't know. I don't think it's a problem per se. Like, if something is just that good, and it's literally like they made another game, basically. If it was
And
like a
that's-
really short DLC, then I would get being upset. But they literally like pretty much made another game.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Like you said, it's not like it was a DLC where you're getting like an extra level or anything. Like,
Yeah.
it's a full game.
Yeah. Like if it was like the Astrobot like speed runs up there as like Game of the Year, I'd be like, okay, like what are we doing?
Right.
You know, like just nominate Astrobot. But yeah, no, I feel like Elden Ring it's fine in that regard. Let's see, let me get to the. I'm surprised actually that that's what the big hubbub was about. I feel like we all should have expected this. I was surprised, and I saw this on a thumbnail. I was surprised that seemingly Mario Luigi Brothership did not get nominated at all. So I guess it just didn't make the cutoff.
From what I'm hearing, it's not the greatest game.
I've only heard one person talk about this game. I don't know what the general sentiment is. So maybe
I've heard too.
Maybe so. Maybe
I've heard too. And neither said it was really a good game.
That is unfortunate. I feel like it maybe could have got nominated for art direction though, because I like the art direction of the game. But
That's fair. It might not have made cutoff either, though.
yeah, I
don't know though, because was that this year's Call of Duty that was on it?
Yes, it was Call of Duty 6, Black Ops 6.
Yeah. So when is the cutoff? Because didn't that come out like? When did
I
Black
don't know.
Ops
They
come
actually
out?
have. We can actually stop doing the video. We can go to the site because they do have more information. They have like a FAQ because they knew people was gonna be. They knew people was gonna be in here.
Fair, because Black Ops 6 came out October 25th. That is 3 weeks ago.
I think Brothership just dropped recently. Mario and Luigi Brothership. That dropped. Yeah,
November.
the 7th.
I wonder if it's November to November then.
Maybe so. I also feel like I'm trying to think like what games came out last year that didn't make the cutoff that could have been on here, because I think most of the games that were listed were games that from this year. Which that's another thing. That's why I'm like, I feel like they should just do like December to December for the cutoff because games that were played last year that were great, I feel like people don't remember. Let me see
It's
games.
also, and granted, they could have changed this by then because when we were talking earlier about the Elden Ring thing, I was gonna bring up the fact that Spider-Man Miles Morales won, but it won a BAFTA. I think it won a BAFTA game up. But either way, it won a game of the year. So like, if Shadow of the Archer is just as long as that, I feel like we're fine. Well, we were off that, but it was nominated in the 2020 Game Awards, and it came out November of that year. So they could have changed it by then, but it's also like they might just be picking and choosing. Like, look, I decide what gets nominated.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so.
When did Liza P was early?
Yeah, I feel like it would have been in the awards last.
Matter of fact, I think I do remember Liza P being in the awards.
Yeah. See stars.
I remember Core. I need to pick that up soon.
Dead Space Stretch.
Hopefully it's on sale.
It probably is. Cocoon. What did Cocoon?
Sekiro isn't, so I'm not having high hopes. Sekiro was still $45 at GameStop.
Hold out hope. It might be.
I'm gonna check again because I was gonna pick up a couple games on Black Friday.
Oh, they got the co-streamer thing. I have to fill that out.
Same.
Let's see. So they have the process. So how were the nominees selected? Those categories of the Game Awards are chosen by an international jury of over 100 global media and influencer outlets selected for their history of critical video game evaluation. Then, okay. It's a confidential, unranked, ballot-based system. Tabulated, and the 5 games that appear on the most ballots are put forth as nominees. In the event of a tie, 6 or more nominees will be announced in category. Chef Keely is not a member of the jury.
They had to make sure, like, yo, not a part.
Yep. That's tough.
I like how they made sure also to put the on how the winners are selected. 90% of this is the voting jury and 10% is fan voting. So like, look, it's not a popularity contest.
Why don't fans 100% select the winners? Oh my god. Oh wait, they had the cutoff. Wait, the cutoff
November
was
22nd.
Oh, they just did not mess with Mario. Oh,
that's not. That's so that game that could have got nominated and you couldn't have played it. You still couldn't have played because it wouldn't have been out yet. Like, it could come out Friday.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, because this is in the future. It's not even because I wasn't even thinking about what the date was, but yeah, no.
Yeah, at first I saw November 22nd too, and I was like, oh, okay.
I was like, oh yeah, that passed. But yeah, it could have. Oh, that's kind of. Why would they do that then? Why would they have the nominations open until the 22nd if they were going to announce the nominees on the 18th?
Yeah, like some game. I mean, I guess some game would have got some free publicity if they would have got nominated and they come out Friday. And like, look, last minute push. You see, we Game Awards nominated. You might want to pick this up on day one.
Okay, view the categories. Okay, we're good. Guess we'll start at the bottom.
Oh, we could have skipped this one. Jim.
Yeah, I was just clicking things. Let's
we could most anticipated game.
Do you want to skip content creator?
I didn't know any of them.
You know what? Let me give my spiel about content creator of the year. I'm familiar with Case O. I don't know any of the maybe Typical Gamer. I don't think I've ever seen his face actually, so I was kind of surprised. But excuse me. I feel like Skill Up, he could have been nominated. Like Kind of Funny People, they could have been nominated. There are a lot of other people that I don't know. It would be one thing if it's just like this year, it's just like different slate of faces. But I feel like every year, nobody that I feel like could have been nominated or like should have been considered at all ever gets put on the board. So I would love to know. Let's see. It was made an important and positive impact on the community. So it doesn't even have to be gaming. It's just like a popular streamer or content creator.
That's so interesting.
And that's the thing for me. I'm like, there are so many people in gaming that do make a positive impact. Like, even if you want to look at like C.VA, he is not exclusively like a gaming streamer or anything, but he's done a lot of really great philanthropy work throughout the year. Like, he could have been nominated for something. I don't know. That's my spiel.
Like I said, I don't know any of them. I'm gonna be honest. I mainly watch black gamers, so
that's a different challenge in itself.
Yeah, so that I knew I was going to be out.
Yeah. Let's see. Most anticipated game. GTA is. There's like a 90% chance that it's going to win. I think. 90%.
It's for sure either GTA or Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah.
As much as it pains me for Metroid Prime 4.
Actually, I don't know. So you think Metroid's not in the conversation? If there are multiple options, you don't think it's in the conversation?
I don't think it is over those two.
I feel like Metroid could be up there. Like, if we've had to pick, if I pick 3, I would pick GTA, Yotei, and Prime 4.
Oh yeah, for sure. Those would be the 3 I would pick. But I think Metroid is like a distant third.
I don't disagree. I don't know. It's like all the people that I know that talk about Metroid are usually people that I guess kind of like grew up with the franchise. And like GTA, which is also, it has an extensive history. But it's like, it's one of the most popular games every year. So I think it's like, it's pulled in enough new eyes for people to look forward to it. And then Ghost, it could be a 50-50 on Ghost. I don't know how Ghost actually performed. Like, obviously well enough to get, not necessarily a sequel, but I guess a spin-off game. But
I guess it's technically a sequel.
I don't know. I don't think it is.
They call it a standalone sequel.
Oh, well, I guess it is. I thought they were calling it a spin-off because it wasn't Jin.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think they said they're going to go back to Jin's story.
I think they're sort of using the ghost as that's the character. And anybody, and the ghost isn't just one person, apparently.
Yes, but they said, because when all this happened, where they're like, oh, I want to play Jin, blah, blah, blah. Like, they did say, like, they're going to have other people be the ghost outside of Jin, but they are going to revisit Jin's story. So I feel like Jin might get the trilogy treatment, and then we'll have like a new ghost that'll have like their own trilogy or whatever it might be. But there'll also be like spin-offs where it's like Ghost of Yotei or whatever it might be. But
yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, I think GTA is probably winning this one for free.
Yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately.
I'm
no
not
competition there.
No,
not enough competition of high profile. This one, yeah, it's only between these two for me.
for sure.
Yeah, I think it depends on how Arcane ends. So far, I would give it to Fallout. I always like Arcane, but I always feel like I don't truly know what's going on. I'm just watching it because like the art is gorgeous. Whereas Fallout, I did understand what was going on, and I feel like they did really well to like nail the aesthetics and whatnot and tell an interesting story. So I would personally go for Fallout.
Yeah, same. And I think that, to your point earlier when you were saying it's gonna come down to how they look at animation versus live action.
Yeah.
I do think that sometimes animation gets a bad rap of, well, this can't be prestige. Interesting. And so I wonder if that's going to influence enough of the voters and enough of the jury.
Interesting. I was kind of thinking like some people might think like, oh, it's probably easier to do an animated adaptation versus a live action adaptation, so they might be more impressed with Fallout in that way, which I guess is kind of similar to what you were saying with the Prestige, but I don't know. Both are great though. Definitely check them out.
both are great. Actually, well, I can say Fallout is great. I haven't watched Arcane, but I won that competition, so I will be getting a 4K DVD copy. Shout out to my man Christian over at Film Optics.
Yeah. You, I think you'll enjoy it. It's really dope.
I was gonna watch it, and then I saw that up, and I was like, well, let me see if I win this first, and I watch it in 4K.
That's fair. It might come with some behind the scenes too. That'll be cool.
That would be.
All right, best multiplayer. Call of Duty's up there just cause Call of Duty.
Right.
I don't know.
I personally think Super Mario Party probably is going to win it.
There's a solid chance. I feel like people have been vibing with Jamboree more than other years' Mario parties.
I will be voting for Helldivers.
I would like to say Space Marine 2 would be up there, but I don't know if like it was like a flash in the pan kind of situation, or maybe people just don't talk about how much they've been playing it. So I don't know. I personally haven't played it yet.
I haven't either.
I don't know. Based off what I have seen and like the excitement and conversation around these games, I would put Call of Duty up there, and I would put Tekken up there as like the top two that would win this category.
That is fair. I could see that. Like I said, I'm gonna vote for Helldivers. I know it's a long shot, but you know, I had so much fun with that game. I continuously still have fun with that game.
That's fair. I actually, funny enough, sort of unrelated, kind of. I started playing Halo ODST, which is somewhat similar to Helldivers, actually, and I've been enjoying that. I never said this to you, but every time I played Helldivers, it kind of just made me want to play Halo.
Interesting.
I never thought it was bad, but I couldn't play it for very long without being like, okay.
Interesting.
I don't know. It might have been the start with the bad impression with not being able to connect on multiplayer, but I just got frustrated, but
yeah, I could see that.
That's just yeah, only comment on this one, which you brought up a good point. I probably wouldn't have thought of it myself, but not having college football in here is kind of wild.
Yeah, I'm very upset.
Especially now that I'm looking at some of these things, like Topspin. I've never heard of Topspin at all. No disrespect to Topspin.
Right.
But I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it.
But also the amount of complaints that NBA 2K got this year. Trust me, I have so many friends who that's all they game and play.
See, that's the thing.
You're not finna tell me.
That's the thing. They always be complaining about it, but then they always get the new like game every year. So I mean,
that's gamers in general, Jamie.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's still like, you know, it's still keeping them up here in the on the boards. What can you do? I'm kind of shocked about F1, but I'm kind of, you know, I dig that because I said this a few different videos. I watch the F1 documentary every year now, so I'm not locked in to F1 stuff. I actually consider anytime they talk about F1 in the news, I'm like, y'all are spoiling the documentary for this year, so please stop. Please don't talk about it. Even I'm not being serious, but I dig it.
I have also gotten into F1 recently. I wanted to try this game out, but I couldn't justify spending $70 on a racing game knowing that I'm not going to play it enough for me to pay $70.
That is fair. Yeah, I don't think I would have done that either. But I don't know. I don't vote in every category. I vote in the ones where I feel like I know like something of what I'm talking about. This one, I don't know. I wouldn't vote for anything in particular here.
Yeah, the game I wanted to win isn't even nominated, so
that'd be funny if you could do a write-in.
Oh, I would write it in so quick. I would start the whole write-in campaign.
Yep. I'm sure you probably could get a ton of people too. Let's see. We got the Sim strategy category.
Look at Manor Lords being nominated.
Okay. I feel like Unicorn Overlord has a pretty good shot. I would like to see Path of the Goddess do well here too.
It's interesting. I was going to say that I think they have a pretty good shot.
I don't disagree.
I think it's definitely between those two. Though Age of Mythology Retold could sneak that out.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I feel like nobody really like talked about, or at least the circles or the algorithms that, you know, get fed to me. I didn't see much talk about this game.
Same, and I was actually really shocked because like I know some people who who played the Age of Mythology and the Age of Empire series heavily.
Yeah, there was a lot of hype when it got announced.
Yeah, and then it just seems like it came and went. Like, I don't know if it was just bad marketing, like no one knew when it came out.
That's a possibility.
But yeah, I was really shocked.
We'll have to see what the quote-unquote truth is.
Right?
Which, by the way, speaking of quote-unquote truth, the Game Awards is not the only award circuit that you can vote in. There's also the Golden Joysticks. I'm not sure if their voting is still open, but I'll leave something on the screen if it is. But yeah,
I will double check for you right now.
Oh, I appreciate it. But yeah, definitely engage with those as well if like the whole like award season for games is something that you really care about, because a lot of these other games that may not get the time of day at the Game Awards like will get a lot of shine at some of these other award showcases, so definitely vote in those as well.
I would assume not. The awards is on Thursday.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
See, this is what happens when I'm like changing media platforms and like
yeah. Oh yeah, voting closed November 1st.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the actual ceremony is this Thursday.
Well, check it out.
I'm about to check that out.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it. All right. Oh, I just thought about it. Like we're recording the manga thing on Thursday.
Ooh, I have to still read those.
I mean, I have to watch it late, but all right. So I'm glad they had these descriptions. Actually, I don't know if they had these last year. For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform, for family play.
That still doesn't like.
Yeah.
It gives you more, but it still doesn't, because it's like, again, 4 of these 5 games are single player.
Yeah.
So is it just like, oh yeah, we gonna pass the joystick around, which, you know, my family definitely used to do that when I was a kid. Like,
I don't know. That's for them to figure out. Let's just
So I got nothing.
I think Astrobot is definitely up there. I feel like anything on Nintendo's platform probably has an edge.
I mean, that's 3 of the 5.
Of those, I would say Jamboree would probably be my pick between Princess Peach Showtime and Mario Party. I do love Echoes of Wisdom, but there's also some puzzles on there that, not saying a kid couldn't do them, but I could see a kid getting frustrated playing that game if they were playing it by themselves. Which, granted, this is family play, so maybe they're not playing it by themselves, but we don't know.
Fair.
I would just say Astrobot's up there and Jamboree is up there for my top 2 for this category.
Yeah, that makes sense. I couldn't tell you. I was gonna say it's probably Astrobot. Like I said, I think I've played like the first 4 chapters of the Plucky Squire. They're really short chapters, but it just.
I was about to say I didn't know you played that much of it, but
They're kind of short chapters. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how long it is to actually beat that game, but I don't know. It just, like I was telling you offline, it just feels like there's something missing with that game. Now we're talking about appropriate for family. Very much could see kids loving this game.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that just the overall quality of the game is definitely going to take a role there, and I can feel like I could see the jury being like, I'm not that high on this game, so it's out.
That's fair. Yep, I could see that as well. I don't know. I hate that it had to be that way, or it came out that way, I guess. But
yeah, it was kind of disappointing.
yeah, I had it up there as one of my most anticipated games of the year too. Let's see, best fighting. I'm like, I'm kind of surprised that they put Marvel vs.
What is going on?
Oh, hold up. Yeah.
You said you're surprised that they put Marvel vs. Capcom?
I'm a little bit surprised. Yeah. I don't know that I've
like
seen any like collections get nominated for anything in the Game Awards.
Oh, fair then. Yeah. I think like you were saying when the nominees got listed, it's definitely between Tekken and Sparking Zero.
Yeah. There's been like recently there's been some, I don't know, people have been saying Sparking Zero is dying or something. And it's like, you know, gamers will say that about anything at any point in time. So I wonder if that will affect how people vote. If it's, you know, anything like real life, probably not. So
oh god,
I feel like Sparking will probably have a decent chance of taking this one. But yeah, it's between Sparking and Tekken for me.
Grand Blue Fantasy, I think. Oh no, I played Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. I was gonna say I played that demo, but it was Relink's demo. I was gonna say it definitely wasn't a fighting game, so I was confused.
Yeah, there's a fighting game that confuses me too, because people talk about it like it's interchangeable, and I'm like, it's not though.
It's definitely not. Because I was like, when they were listing it, I'm like, I played this game. Did the demo just not have the fighting aspect?
No, it's two different games. That's interesting. I'm kind of interested that Multiverse is made up here.
Yeah, that's.
I'm trying to think like actually. What else would have taken its place. I don't know.
That would have come out between November of last year and this year.
Yeah, I don't know what would have.
Fighting game.
I would have maybe said like 2XKO, but that's not officially been released.
I mean, to be fair, that's probably why it's up here.
Well, interesting choices.
I mean, Sparking Zero, there were really no.
Yep. This year was kind of like the back half of the fighting game renaissance, so not as many fighting games came out that I can think of, at least.
Because I don't remember when in the year Mortal Kombat 1 came out. Like, I don't think that was November.
I feel like it was around October-ish or something.
Okay.
Maybe.
Because that's I guess that would have been the other side of the equation. Is like, did any of those ones release late enough?
I think Mortal Kombat was nominated last year.
I think it was released in September, so I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, I mean, I think this is just the case of, you know, there wasn't a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I feel like there probably won't be too much surprise with this category.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? RPG. I'm putting, I would say Final Fantasy and Metaphor up there. It's interesting, like, I don't think of Elden Ring as a RPG, I guess, in a classical sense. Even though
I
it
mean,
is.
I was gonna say, I guess by design, like you have to pick. I feel like the easiest way for me to say like, okay, this is for sure an RPG is you have to pick a class.
Yeah. That's fair. I feel like I don't know. It's the actual gameplay that makes me not think of it as RPG.
Sure, it's very open world. So
Yeah.
it's funny that you bring that up. I told you we were shooting yesterday. One of the episodes that we were shooting were all about role playing games, and that caused a huge debate.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. There's definitely been, I think the genre of like RPGs has broadened in the past few years, so I could see the debates happening quite easily.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think is the top two here?
Throwing my bias out. No, you know what? Forget that. Keeping bias.
I was about to say you can do it. You can get that.
I got it between Elden Ring and Final Fantasy.
Okay. Between Elden Ring and Final Fantasy, I feel like Elden Ring would probably take it.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Elden Ring does take this. I feel like that's why they got ahead of it and made sure to bring up that DLC part. Because not only I feel like Elden Ring not only obviously was heavily nominated. We saw it in a couple categories already. But I think some of the jurors are probably like, yeah, I'm thinking if this is gonna win big.
Yeah. Which is, that's kind of wild to think that, this could win 2 Game of the Years in a row.
That is insane. Like when you put it that way, it's very crazy.
Yeah. Let's see. Best action game.
Action adventure.
Action adventure games.
I think isn't there also specifically a best action?
I think
or
there
at
is.
least it
yeah,
used to
because
be.
I think Black Myth was nominated in that.
Okay.
Action adventure. This is looking like Astrobot would probably take it. I would like to see Prince of Persia: Lost Crown be in the conversation because that's such a fun game.
I mean, I guess in a sense it is. It's nominated, so it's in the conversation.
Like
but
it
in terms
is, but at the same, it's like is it in the Oh no, I don't want to disparage any of the nominees. So
I get what you mean.
I don't want it to be, I guess, an easy race. I want it to be
Fair.
a little contention.
I don't think that there's going to be. I was curious. I was curious on how you were going to say about Echoes of Wisdom. So the fact
me
that
personally, I really enjoy it. I don't know if it has enough of the community's vote, or I guess the jurors' vote, to win this category. That's because everybody knows that Astrobot is a really great game that's come out this year that speaks to all of the attributes of like action adventure. So I think Echoes of Wisdom also does that, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be hard to beat Astrobot's star power.
Yeah, I could see that. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted though. In my heart, it's definitely Zelda. It's definitely Zelda.
That's fair.
I'm interested in the Silent Hill 2. I gotta look back and see like how the conversations went with that game, because I know people. It seemed like they were happy with it when the like previews and stuff released, and it was like before the game came out, people were like scared for the game. So I'm wondering how everything kind of ended up at the end of the day with that.
Yeah, I still want to pick it up eventually. There's just been a lot of gaming releases and stuff this year, and
Yeah, there has.
you gotta pick and choose what you want to beat or what you want to play, and I still have stuff on my backlog.
Yep. It's been quite the year for sure.
That it has.
There we go. This was
Speaking of best action.
So we got Wukong, Call of Duty, Helldivers, Stellar Blade, and Space Marine 2. I feel like It's between Wukong and Black Ops.
Really? See, I think it's between Wukong and Stellar Blade.
Ooh.
Now, I think this is Wukong's category to lose. Don't get me wrong, but I do think that those are the two probably leading the category. Like Call of Duty is Call of Duty. It sells like gangbusters. You know,
Yeah.
It,
And
it,
that's
it
the
is
only
what
reason
it
why I
is.
put it number 2, honestly.
Fair. I mean, I could understand that. I just Call of Duty is the NBA 2K of action games, in my opinion. It's the Madden.
So, go ahead.
No, I'm just not. It's the Madden of those games, like where they're all iterative at this point. I know they had their marketing about I think it's like omnidirection or something like that. I
The
can't remember
diving.
specific. Yeah. Which
Did they have
obviously-
marketing around that?
Yeah, they called it like a whole new. I think it was like whole new realistic moving system or something. I forgot how they went around it.
I saw they talked about it in the Call of Duty Direct, but I didn't know there was like marketing around it. That's interesting.
Yeah, I saw a commercial about it. And like I said, it's not to say that those aren't good games because I play Madden, so I think it's one of those things where it knows it has its community, and that community is very large.
Yes.
But when you start getting into like the technicality of it, I feel like there are other games that do more and do better.
That is fair. I will say for this year, it seems like a lot of people are really impressed with Black Ops 6 and are saying that it's been better than like recent years Call of Duty, and people have kind of like come back to the game that don't typically play Call of Duty, I guess. So I don't know. In terms of it being like the Madden of action games, I could definitely I don't disagree with that. Also, like, I guess this is the really good year of Madden for Black Ops 6. So we'll see. We'll see. I feel like it's definitely gonna take an award for the Game Awards. I don't know if it's this specific one though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Wukong though. Wukong.
I think it's their category to lose.
I don't disagree. They had some good stuff going for it. I think so. Wait, hold on. Where was it? What do you think about an announcement for the Xbox edition of Black Myth at the Game Awards?
I thought it was announced already.
Was it announced already?
I'm almost positive because I think it's December.
Let's see. Black Myth.
Because
Wukong.
I know PlayStation has a.
Let's see. It says Xbox Plus knows some place to find be able to play.
Oh, so yeah, it might be announced.
That's why I feel like I assume it was Phil Spencer that says this.
So
I feel like he
I'm
threw
gonna
that
be
out
honest.
there to be like, yeah, shout out. Well, I don't know if it'll be a shout out drop, but it's like announcement at the Game Awards.
I think it is going to be dropped at the Game Awards, and the reason why, obviously I haven't picked it up yet. I was thinking about, I might buy it for Black Friday. I'm curious if there's a physical copy. GameStop's physical copy for it releases on the date of the Game Awards. So I think that is the date. They haven't officially said it for Xbox yet, but I think it's going to be, hey, this is available now on all systems, and for those of you who want physical, boom, here it is.
Okay.
Because even on that one, like the box art for it, because it has like the box art for it, it includes the deluxe edition upgrade. Like, I feel like this. There's no reason they wouldn't have randomly picked this date if it wasn't coming to both consoles on that date.
That's fair. All right.
And if nobody's picked that up, you heard it here first.
Yep. Quote Dig _D.
Yup.
If he gets it wrong, you can quote Dig D.
No, if I get it wrong, quote Swiper.
No. No, not that. Let's see. Best VR. I'm putting Arkham Shadow up there.
Same. That's also because that's the only one I know anything about.
I remember seeing the trailer for Arizona Sunshine. It looked like it could be kind of cool. I don't think I've seen anything since. I'm not gonna lie to you. Asgard's Wrath. It usually I feel like has some hype in the VR community. I never hear them say anything particular about the game, but I know people always talk about it. Metal Hellsinger 2 in VR, that could be something. I know people really like Metal Hellsinger. But no, I'm putting all the chips. I'm not even gonna pick a second. I'm putting all the chips on Arkham Shadow.
I'm right along with you. If we were in Vegas, I'm putting 100 on them.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something on somebody else. That's it.
No.
Yep.
Just everything goes on. Everything goes on Arkham Shadow here.
Yeah.
If it doesn't win, I go home poor.
Oh no. Don't let Ditch go home poor, y'all.
I'm betting the farm.
Not betting the farm. But no, I mean, like, especially they've been doing some sponsored content with some content creators recently, which is one of the reasons why I was able to see, like, I guess the first chapter-ish of the game. And I'm like, oh yeah, like they did a really great job with this, and it's Batman. You know, that's like almost an automatic win. It's hard to mess up.
I would agree.
Yeah. So I think this was the one that's gonna win, and you know, I'm happy to say I think it's deserving of it too. So
that's fair.
Let's see, mobile game. I know you said the TCG. You were on there for TCG.
Yes, look, I am fully in on it. It's so much fun.
I haven't tried it yet. I'm not like a big mobile gamer actually. Like the last mobile game.
There are a few that get me.
The last mobile game I really got into was well, it's Pokemon Go and then like Pokemon Unite, but I actually played Pokemon Unite on Switch.
I don't even know what Pokemon Unite is.
It's a Pokemon MOBA, basically. It's cool. It didn't hold me for too long, but I enjoyed my time while I played.
Nice, yeah. There are a few that get me. Like, obviously, this Pokemon trading card pocket is, and Dragon Ball Z has one that's I go in and out of.
Interesting. I feel like what's actually gonna win this category, though, it might be another all or nothing for me. I think Balatro can pretty easily win this category.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like
maybe 80-20 Balatro and Pokemon Pocket.
I don't know. I think you might be right because, like, I feel like they know Balatro is not getting Game of the Year. That would be a crazy upset.
Yeah, that.
And so they might get the consolation. Like, all right, you are that good. You deserve an award.
Yeah. Well,
and I just know nothing of the other three. Actually, I've heard of AFK Journey just because like you see ads and stuff for it, but like in terms of gameplay and whatnot,
that one kind of threw me actually. I feel like I haven't seen anything about AFK Journey in years. So
I swear I feel like I see like ads and stuff. Like if you're scrolling through TikTok or like watching some reels, at some point you're gonna see like a creator doing that, like playing the game for an ad.
Maybe I've been seeing it, I just didn't recognize it then. I don't know.
And then Wuthering Waves or Zenless Zone Zero, I know nothing about.
Zenless Zone Zero, I know for I think all the wrong reasons.
Yikes.
There's they have like a lot of over exaggerated animation, and then you know you pair that with like anime girls, and it's not like a perverse game. Well, not super perverse.
I was gonna say your description sure makes it sound like it is.
That's not what the game is about. But I was like, it's a feature of the game.
Yeah, fair. I didn't think this was gonna be like this. Is not like a Steam game or anything.
No.
Some of those.
No. No, that's that's just straight up porn. Like those games, yeah, no. But yeah, I think Balatro, and then probably Pokemon would be my second.
Yeah, now knowing that games can get released up until this Friday, well, Friday of the time of recording,
Yeah.
I can see. I was gonna say that game came out like 3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, it did come out recently. Yeah, I don't know. The way they do this is interesting.
Up until the Friday after nominees are released is crazy.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, they're not, unless they're gonna change them, which I highly doubt that that's gonna happen. But yeah, I don't know. So if you have a really good
Balacho's
game,
on here, they might get this.
oh yeah, that's I don't know. They do have some competition in Animal Well. I know a lot of people said that they really enjoyed Animal Well.
Okay. Manor Lords, it looked interesting. I remember seeing that it had to be a Steam Next Fest.
Yeah.
And I remember like, oh, this looks pretty interesting. Pacific Drive, I played that for Steam Next Fest.
Yes.
Earlier this year.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
And then Plucky Squire, I've already talked about my disappointments.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's will be between Animal Well and Balatro.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, nothing too crazy with this. Probably not too many upsets. Best in okay. Wait.
Yeah, that was debut, and then this is just independent.
Oh, interesting. Okay. You think they would give one to Animal and the other to Balatro, or are they just like, nah, whatever we vote, that's it?
I feel like I kind of want Neva to get this one.
I would like to see it. I feel like actually for this, UFO 50 could be in the conversation because a lot of people have really been enjoying that. This is actually a tougher category.
I could see, though, like you said, them giving one to Animal Well and one to Balatro.
Yeah. I feel like Animal Well will probably win one of these categories because also, like, you know, it's the Big Mode publisher that Donkey runs, and I'm sure I don't know. There could be some politics.
There's some politics behind there.
There could be a little bit of politics.
Okay.
As much as I'd love to believe that there's no politics with any of these award shows, I'm like, realistically, you know, there's a little bit.
Yeah, you know there's politics with everyone.
Yeah, so. Not to say it's not deserving of it, but I'm like, you know, if it's like we had to lean one way or the other, like, I could see that being a factor.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. I don't know. This category is a wild card for me. I think the only one that I don't know a lot about is Lorelei and the Laser Eyes.
Yeah, I don't either. That's same. I know about the other four.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it being announced, but I don't think I've seen anything from it since. So I don't know. This is a wild card for me. I don't even know how I'll vote on this one, so I guess we'll have to see.
I tell you, I'm voting Neva. I'm pulling for it. I hope he wins. I know it's a longer shot.
Yeah,
but
that's fair. I might do the same. Let's see. Best community support. I think it's pretty safe to say Helldivers is probably gonna win this one. Like, if it doesn't win anything else on the night, like community support, it's gotta be community support. Well, actually, hold on. Let me see. What is this? Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, responsiveness, inclusivity. Yeah. I think Helldivers.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yep. I would say Helldivers, and then I don't know. Final Fantasy 14 is always up there for me for community, so
I mean, that's because that game's been going on forever.
Yeah, that's literally why. Yeah.
I was interested to see that Baldur's Gate was nominated for this.
Yeah, that's also interesting to me too.
Because it doesn't have any DLC to my knowledge or like any ongoing content, so it's just like still just people playing through. Granted, it's a very long story.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. I always pictured this as like a mini live service game type award.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. I would agree with that sentiment. I think Baldur's Gate 3 did get a physical release this year, and so maybe that's kind of what lends itself to the community support, because like an influx of new players that are wanting to learn more about the game, and then there's already the existing community that knows about the game that can maybe help out. So maybe it's that.
Could be, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Interesting seeing No Man's Sky is still up here though. I don't know if they had an update or something recently, but good for them.
Yeah, I think they might have.
Possibly. I have no idea. But yeah, Helldivers 2 and Final Fantasy are my picks there.
Yeah, I could see that.
Let's see. Best ongoing. I would say either Diablo or Final Fantasy. Yeah. Destiny is always like fans really enjoy it, but I think like the past couple of updates people have not been super high on.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's like a little bit of discourse there.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with it. I think this might be Diablo.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just especially, I feel like the Vessel of Hatred was really well received.
Okay. Let's put it on Diablo then.
All right, betting the farm again.
Oh gosh. How many farms do you have, Didge? What if you lose it all every
No.
time?
Well, look, we gotta hope.
Let's see. Games for Impact. I am actually not familiar with Closer the Distance and Indica.
I don't even remember him saying Closer the Distance in it.
I actually don't. Yeah, I don't remember him saying that either. Interestingly.
I'm curious if Tales of Kinzarazao could get it off of the message, because like that, you know, obviously, the the category being that thought provoking with a pro social meaning or message. Obviously, the story of that game just about how it's so much around family and community, and the personal impact that it had for Abubakar Salim. It might give it the edge, but again, I don't know about two of the 6 games. So
yeah, I would say it's between, of the knowledge that I currently have, Neva and Tales of Kinzarazao.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I think Life is Strange. I just finished watching somebody play through the game actually, and it kind of fell flat for me. So I don't know how that's going to affect its
game is trash. Jamie confirmed.
I'm not saying it's trash. I wasn't even the one playing. I'm just saying.
Swapper said it ain't even worth her time, y'all.
No. I just say I was expecting something different than what they gave me. That's all. That's all.
I get what you mean.
But yeah, I feel like those are two solid picks. It, and maybe the other two that I'm not familiar with could be in there as well. Life is Strange, I don't feel like did enough. Senua
Hmm.
Saga, um, I I'm not sure. I guess what the conversation is around mental health, because Senua has like voices in her head and like different things going on there. But I don't know if they create a conversation around it or if it's just like, this person has these afflictions and we're depicting them. I don't even know if that's really what yeah, I would say that's what the category is about, because like thought provoking.
Yeah.
I guess that could be thought provoking. It's like, oh, if I had this condition, like this is how life would be. But
Maybe, yeah. I guess Senua Saga was an interesting choice to me to be included in the nomination, but the more you speak about it, the more I can understand why.
yeah, it's like, I don't know. When I'm thinking about it, I could see why they put it up here, but personally, I don't see it winning the category.
Which is fair. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be very surprised if it did, I should say.
Yeah. We'll have to see. This is a bit of a wild card category.
It is.
Let's see. Innovation and accessibility. I wish they had, I want to say last year they had like a little blurb as to like what they did a part of the like innovation and accessibility.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, it would have been helpful, because like they're not gonna remember everything from the year.
Ain't that
So,
the truth?
would have been nice. But let's see. Recognizing software and or hardware. Interesting. Hardware could have been included in this. I don't know if I've ever seen hardware in this category.
That would have been a story.
Yeah,
If they
the hardware versus a game.
yes, like oh my god, like imagine if they would have put like the Xbox accessibility controller.
Yeah. I think when that was, I think they did acknowledge it at a Game Awards. Then they just talked about like hardware about accessibility. So maybe it flip flops between software and hardware instead of like trying to put them against each other, because that is kind of like, how do you compare?
Right.
But yeah, that would be wild if they did just decide, yeah, we're gonna have both of them in here. But yeah, software hardware is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. Call of Duty with the like diving system that you mentioned earlier, I could see the innovation in that way. I don't know. I feel
Is
like
that accessible though?
I was about to say, like, I don't know if that's necessarily adding to accessibility in the game. So I would assume there's something else in the game that lends itself to be accessible.
It's gotta be.
The only game that I know of that has added, I guess, accessibility features would be Dragon Age the Veilguard. And even with that, it's more in terms of character design, with having more options for, I guess, just like the way to build your character. I'm not even sure if there's necessarily something in the gameplay. But I feel like, if you go that far for just building the character, there's probably some other features that would lend the game to be more accessible to people.
I'm interested that Diablo 4 is on here, because I didn't think that they did anything completely new this time around that they wouldn't have done in the base game. Like, to my knowledge, I don't remember anything in the DLC for Vessel of Hatred being like, oh yeah, these new accessibility features.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think this year if there was any like standouts accessibility wise that people talked about. As like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not afflicted by anything that requires me to like go into these menus and really like dig into the accessibility settings.
Yeah,
Um,
same.
so usually like when I hear about these different features, it's from other people that are like within that community or people that like just check out the settings just because they're curious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there probably is something, but of the games that are in this category, I can't think of anything that was particularly stand out.
Yeah, and to your point, yeah, like you said, I'm fully sure that there is something. It was just that's the only one here that's a DLC. So that's
Yeah,
what
that's
interested
fair.
me.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know. I think maybe when we're like older or something, we might use more of these accessibility features. Cause I know there's like a gaming conference or something that I've seen somewhat recently that talks about accessibility features being especially important for like aging gamers. Cause like maybe you can't see as well. Maybe you
Hmm.
like, you know, something happens where you can't like use your hands as well, get arthritis, something like that. So that's something that I'll try and pay more attention to for sure. Not in
Yeah, that makes
anticipation that I'm
sense.
gonna get something. I was like, it's just important.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a wild card category for me. I have no idea. We'll have to see. Let's see. Best performance. So yeah, why didn't they put like the role that they had? It's so strange to me.
That is
Um,
very
so this is
strange.
Aerith. This is assume Max from Life is Strange. This is what's the main character in the Outlaws? I can't remember.
I can't remember. I'll look it up.
I want to say start with an F, but I don't know. Like I feel like Faye, but I don't think it's Faye.
I was gonna say K, so
K, yeah, K Vest. That's what it is.
that's it. Okay.
Yeah, she plays K Vest. This is probably dang, what's the guy in Silent Hill 2 is there?
I'm just gonna Google names. Luke Roberts did in Silent Hill. His why is it not? Oh, James Sunderland.
James, yes. Okay. And then she played Senua.
And then Hannah Tell was
I'm pretty sure she's Max, the main character.
yeah, she's definitely the main character.
Okay.
It said voicing the main character,
Oh,
but it didn't have her name in there. Yeah, when you click into it, yeah, Maxine Caulfield.
Yes, yeah. Okay. Okay. Regardless of my thoughts on the game, I actually do think she gave a good performance, Hannah Tell.
Nice.
I know a lot of people actually really enjoyed Humberly. I hope I said that right. Humberly's performance in Star Wars Outlaws, regardless of what they thought about the game.
Right.
Hmm.
This is a tough one.
This is a tough category. I personally will probably be voting for Brianna White.
Really, after all the hate you had for Aaron.
I don't. Whoa, wait a minute. I have no hate for Aerith. She was just getting in the way of my relationship with Tifa.
Nah, you had a lot of hate.
No, there
It
was no
crazy.
hate. Sometimes she did do annoying things, but
Sounding like some hate.
it's not hate. That's not hate. Listen, everybody does annoying things every once in a while. I chastise Tifa as well. I chastised everybody that did something that I was like, why are we doing this?
Did you though?
I did. We have the footage. We have the logs. Check out the playthrough. Check out the playthrough. Put in the comments whether you thought I was hating. But yeah, I probably picked Brianna White. Yeah, Yeah, I feel like that's the only one I quote unquote have business voting for. Really, I spent the most time listening to her performance.
Yeah, that's fair. I probably would vote the same way. I didn't pick up Outlaws just because of the obviously you heard about all of the mess at launch with it.
Yeah, yeah,
So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna wait until it's in a better state, and then other stuff came out in that better state.
yeah.
Took forever to come.
I'd be curious to watch you play it though. I feel like of the people that I watched that enjoy it, it seemed like Star Wars fans like they dug it. As long as they were open to not everything being about Jedi. But yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I know I'm picking up for sure 2 games over Black Friday.
Mhm.
Haven't decided which either of those 2 games will be, so I've just been sort of seeing what deals are going to be out there.
Wild card.
Well, one of them was going to be Black Myth Wukong. I was just going to pick it up digital, but if the physical edition is supposedly coming out on the 12th of December with all of the I think it said, like I said, it says the like deluxe edition stuff. I'm just gonna wait until then for that.
That's fair.
So now I have no idea what 2 games I'm gonna get. Like maybe Dragon's Dogma. I do still want to play obviously Outlaws. I want to play that very soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Time will tell. Time will tell. But you said you would also vote for Brianna White?
Yeah, just because I haven't played Outlaws, like even though everything I saw of her performance was really good, that's the one I've probably seen the most, just obviously through watching your gameplay.
Okay, fair. Well, good luck to everybody in the category. This one is tough. Let's see. Audio design. This one, I feel like Senua Saga should win this. With everything, all the behind the scenes that they showed of them using the craziest microphones I've ever seen in my life, and like the head microphone thing, all that, I feel like they should win this category.
That is fair.
Audio design is tough for me because I feel like audio is like the unsung hero. Like when audio is really good, it's like nobody really talks about it because like, oh, like this is audio. But if it was bad, then you notice and you're like, oh my god, what's going on with the audio?
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm like, I can't really speak to Final Fantasy VII's audio in detail.
You should be. Well, I guess yeah. To your point, it was fine audio, so you wouldn't.
Yeah, like it was
too
good
much
audio.
about it.
Yeah.
So, that is a good point.
Like it's hard to say for me. Like what is above and beyond an audio?
Yes, I'm really struggling with this category.
Yeah, which is why I say for me, my vote's gonna go towards Senua Saga because I know that they like did all the special things, and even in the trailers, like you can hear the work that they did with the audio, even like with it switching ears and all this kind of stuff. So I'm like that feels pretty blatantly obvious. Like yeah, they were doing something with this with the audio.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I haven't listened to anything Call of Duty wise because I'm thinking now when you're talking in-game audio and sound design.
Yeah,
it's like, can you hear the steps when people like?
Yeah.
Are you in Call of Duty? Are you hearing the bullet casings fall? Like,
yeah,
stuff like that.
There. Yeah.
So, I could see Silent Hill having really good audio.
Yeah.
Just obviously creating the horror element in gaming. But because I haven't seen any gameplay of it, and I'll probably have to agree with you and go Senua Saga. If we do this one more time before the actual award show, I'll get in some time looking at Silent Hill, and I can come back with a better prediction.
Okay, yeah, we can try and put that on the calendar. Do a revisit. I'll have voted at that point too, so y'all can see my votes.
Same. That's the thing. I'll vote, and then I think doesn't it give you like a little card, or was that the Crunchyroll Anime Awards that gave you like a little card showing all your votes?
I think it does. I think it shows you your votes.
In the McDonald's app and order it.
All right. Yeah. So.
Count as online shopping.
Like you said, we'll revisit it and do that.
With
Yeah.
the
So
app.
on the calendar. Let's see. Best score on music. I think this one could be tough. This one could be real tough. So actually oh my god, I just noticed I spelled black without a C. That's crazy. But per Digit's recommendation, we're listening to the Metaphor y Fantasio soundtrack as we're kind of breaking things down. And I have been enjoying what I'm listening to so far. It is very, very different from, I think, everything I've ever listened to. It feels like very, I guess, similar to what I've seen with like Japanese cultural performances. And even then, it's not like I'm like casually listening to that, you know, like I watch it as like an experience, I guess, if something's happening.
Yeah.
But I still enjoyed it. It's very different. For me though, I think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has this for me. Like I don't even know if I had to pick.
Bias into.
I mean, there's definitely some bias. That's just a great soundtrack. Even the original game, like all the pieces were great. So to have them reimagined in the remake or the Rebirth, phenomenal. I think if I had to pick a second of what I've listened to, I would actually go Stellar Blade, but part of me feels conflicted with it just because it sounds so close to the Nier Automata soundtrack. And I would have liked a little bit more originality there in terms of like identity. It doesn't change the fact that it's a great soundtrack, but that's my only conflict with putting it up there.
I was gonna go Stellar Blade. I really like that soundtrack. I have a playlist of gaming soundtracks that basically I just use for like background music when I'm working or doing stuff. And that's been on there, and it's been in heavy rotation in there. So I definitely would think that would be up there.
Yeah.
The Astrobot one is really good too.
I've liked it. I feel like I like more like select pieces in it than listening to it through and through. Versus like I think Final Fantasy for the most part I can listen to like beginning to end. I think Stellar Blade I could listen to beginning to end.
Okay.
So that's my only, I guess, critique there is why I didn't choose it as my top two.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you would go Stellar Blade and Astrobot.
Yes.
Okay.
With my vote going to Stellar Blade.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Let's see. Art direction. Okay. This one, this is a tough category.
This is a very tough category because they're all also drastically different art styles.
Yeah, that is true too. I'm not gonna do a top two for this.
No.
I think
it's like, what are you with this one? And because they're so drastically different, it's what are you prioritizing? Is it the realism? Is it the stylization?
Yeah.
Like,
never mind. I'm going back to top two for this one. I think I would personally vote for Neva. I really like the art direction there, and granted, I will say I have not seen a lot of Neva, but from what I've seen, demo wise and like the way that they're presenting the story, I think they're kind of doing something a little bit different with what games of this art style would typically do. So I really appreciate that. As a second, I'm tempted to say Black Myth, because I think they really put a lot of attention to detail into the fighting, and just like, you know, I haven't played Black Myth, but watching the playthroughs of Black Myth, I really enjoy watching the action, and I can tell that people that are playing the game really enjoy like executing some of these combos and kind of being able to engage in the action the way that they do with the animations. I'm not sure if there are cancels or not in Black Myth, but um, and I would also say that Black Myth is going for like somewhat of a realistic style, but they still kind of retain those mythical elements too, similar to Elden Ring, honestly. But I give it to Black Myth because they're new, and I want them to have an award.
That is fair. Those are the two that I was going to also say are probably leading the pack on who would win. But I'm gonna go opposite than you. I think Neva gets it.
Mm, I'm not opposed to that. I would like
It
that.
just it looks so beautiful. I
Yeah.
feel like that's definitely like with art direction it's tough. And that's why I brought up earlier, like what are you prioritizing? Basically realism, stylization, is it the overall art, or is it just like how lifelike can we get?
Yeah.
I personally prioritize stylization for like how beautiful does this look.
Yeah.
And while Black Myth is very beautiful and how close to realistic it is, the world that they built there is just, it's amazing. Like it looks so good.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. That's a tough category for sure. Because
For
I don't
sure.
even know, like, of the two that we selected, it could be something completely different.
Yeah,
and it
we,
would be
we
valid.
could be we could be very off. That
Yeah.
you didn't hear me say I'll bet the farm here.
You already bet it so many times, did you?
Look.
So many more times you could do.
I might lose the farm in one, win it back in the other, you know.
Does it work like that?
It does in my book.
All right. Enough said. Let's see. We got best narrative. This is gonna be a tough category just because of all of them are subjective, but I think this one especially can be subjective.
Yeah, I would agree.
I would say, as a top two, I would put Final Fantasy and Metaphor up there. I would lean towards Metaphor taking this, actually. It seems like everybody that's been playing Metaphor has been like locked into the story that's being told, which is another reason why I haven't started yet, because I know that yeah, y'all just won't see me. So
I get that. Funny enough, I was going to say that Silent Hill and Final Fantasy, the fact that both of them are essentially remakes,
yes,
are probably going to work against them.
Oh,
Because I think now you have to not only go, well, was it an outstanding story? Is the narrative development great? But I feel like in those two games' case, you're now going to be like, well, how did it build, or how is it different, but also familiar to its original?
Yeah.
And so,
fair.
For how many voters, how many of them have played the original Final Fantasy VII, or how many of them have played the original Silent Hill 2?
Yep. Very valid questions. I don't know how accessible the original Silent Hill 2 is. The original Final Fantasy goes on sale practically every other day. So I feel like anybody that was interested has probably played it at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the original Final Fantasy is, I want to say it's on PlayStation Plus. So
Probably.
for sure. Let me see. Silent Hill 2 original. For a second I thought Steam was selling it for $70. I was gonna say there's no way. It had the Google result had a bad picture. It had the picture from the original, but then when you actually click on it, it's the remake. I was about to say,
like they marked it up.
you might be right. This one might not be that accessible. I was trying to see if like quickly you could find it. Like maybe they would have it somewhere. And I don't think you can get it still. Granted, it's a game from 2001, so
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That one might not have made it off the old PlayStation, but
yeah, probably not. Yeah, I would go Metaphor though. Senua Saga, I just feel like it was the only thing I ever hear about that game is that it was short. So it's like
yeah.
I don't know how much people liked or disliked it because all I hear about is man, that game was short.
That's fair. Yeah, no idea. No idea. I also don't know a lot about Infinite Wealth, but on my part, that's
Same.
kind of on purpose because I do plan to play it at some point. So I'm like trying to not absorb as much info on that as I can.
Yeah, I get that.
But Metaphor, it seems like that's the pick for the both of us.
Yeah, I would agree. I won't bet the farm, but it's there. I'll bet like a couple cows.
A couple of cows. What if you lost the farm? Then you don't have the cows to bet. Unless it's just the house. Or I guess the building.
The building is what's getting up.
Dang.
We betting the farm in pieces.
Oh my god. That's hilarious. Let's see. Best game direction, outstanding creative vision and innovation of game direction and design.
This is the category I think people should have been like, how did Shadow of the Earth Tree get nominated?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I was thinking in my head, I'm like, I'm probably not gonna put Earth Tree up there for that. Even though, like, they did add a different, like, leveling system in the DLC, which was cool.
Is that
no,
it's
it wasn't
different.
enough. It wasn't enough.
I was gonna say, don't get me wrong, it's different, but it's also kind of the same.
Yeah.
So, like I said, don't get me wrong, I love the game, but when you start putting descriptions to what best game direction mean, and the second half of your sentence is innovation in game direction and design, it's kind of tough for me to say any DLC unless it's a drastically game-changing DLC could be representative of that category.
And that, with that thought process, would you also say that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is at least for you not something that you would vote for? Because the systems, they did make some changes to the combat, but I think largely a lot of the systems are pretty similar to how the remake was.
Yes. That was gonna be my second part. It's also tough for me to think. Remakes have obviously a lot easier chance at it because in the essence of a remake, you're already changing so much. But you are, again, to the point of the last category. I think there might have been 2 categories ago, but either way, you're looking at it at a closer lens because you kind of have something to reference off of, and so now you got to see, well, not only is it innovative in general, but is your innovation just a rehash of your original innovation?
Yeah. In this particular case, I think the argument could be made for the first part of the remake with Final Fantasy VII, but with Rebirth, I think it would be a harder case to argue for.
I'm curious, did the first half, was that nominated for this award?
I don't know.
I'm looking it up.
I feel like it should have been. Because literally, like, there's no way that they could have had the same game systems as the original game, because the original game came out in, like, I think 1999 or something like that. Like, in terms of, like, game systems, that was going to be pretty archaic if they tried to release that in, like, 2019 or 2018, whatever the remake came out.
It was nominated for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would have accepted that. with Rebirth, I'm like, I don't know if you get away with it this time.
That might make it even less likely for me yet here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I personally wouldn't vote for it. I think I would this is tough.
I think this goes to Astrobot.
See, I was gonna say Astrobot, but then now that we got into talking about, like, I guess what it could be like reference or attached to, you know, you had Astrobot's Playroom. And like, how much of Astrobot's Playroom did they kind of build off of to get Astrobot? I'm not sure. I haven't played Astrobot yet.
Same.
And then I was thinking about Metaphor. And like, you know, well, Metaphor is building off of the building blocks of Persona. And from what I've seen of Metaphor, it looks very much like Persona 5 or like a modern day Persona. So after thinking about those things, I was leaning towards Balatro as my pick for this category. But I feel like if we don't put in all the thinking, I definitely started with Astrobot.
Yeah, the only reason I picked Astrobot was because I know, and that might be Astro's Playroom specifically, but I do remember like the whole hype around, not even hype, just the whole thing around the game was like, well, this is gonna showcase all the stuff that your system can really do.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like whereas Astro's Playroom was like, well, this is all the stuff your system can do at launch, Astrobot was, well, these are the things that people aren't taking advantage of that you can really do. Now, whether you're calling that innovative or just showcasing, we can argue. But I don't know, that was just sort of where my thought process went with it.
I'm undecided on this one. I have to think about it more.
That's fair.
I don't know. Yeah, that I don't know. This will be an interesting category to see who wins. Let's see, and then the biggest category, some might say, of the Game Awards, Game of the Year. Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields.
I mean, I'm biased. I'm gonna give it to Shadow of the Erd Tree. I think in that sentence, it made a game that is very recently feel kind of new again.
Yeah.
Obviously I don't mean new in terms of like changing of the gameplay loops or anything, or just sort of how you're playing, but it had a completely brand new story. I want to say, I looked it up on how to beat, and I already forgot the number, but I want to say it was like, this is another 40-50 hours.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you fully got an entirely new game.
Yep.
That I think was unequivocally the best game that I played this year. So
it's definitely like the Tears of the Kingdom to the Breath of the Wild situation.
Yeah, that's actually a really good comparison.
Yeah. Tears of the Kingdom was its own game, but even then, like, a lot of people were saying, like, is this just DLC? So
yeah,
I think the parallels are there. I think I would vote for Metaphor, and obviously, like, this is a personal category, so there's not going to be like a lot of, I guess, logic that goes into it. But my reasoning for this is I played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I enjoyed it. There were some things about the game that I didn't like in comparison to Remake that I kind of hope they go closer to like how Remake was in terms of it being like a little bit more linear. Still a great game, but I probably enjoyed Remake more than Rebirth because of that. Which is why I'm willing to cast my ballot for Metaphor, because from what I've seen, it's doing a lot of really interesting things and putting I can't even say a twist on Persona because it's technically not a Persona game, but some of the Persona systems that it plays with, it's kind of creating its own unique identity. And story-wise, this game creates a conversation around politics, which is not super common, at least not from what I've seen, and it's really intriguing to me that they would decide to tackle this topic, especially in a year like this. So I give them credit for that, and hope the best for them. And obviously, you know, I'm kind of an Atlas shill, so
Kinda.
I'm not gonna speak any further on it. I'm not gonna speak any further on it, you know. I like Atlas. That's all I can say. But yeah, that's all the categories. I think. Yeah, I think we got all of them.
Yep.
All of them except for the esports ones. But I literally don't know anything about esports.
I would have just went eeny meeny miny mo.
Yeah, I like I was saying earlier, I don't vote for every category, and that trend started with the esports category because I just don't know. I like if there's somebody in particular that looks like kind of interesting, or maybe like there's a lady on the board. I will admit sometimes I do vote for the ladies because like, you know, it's rare that I feel like women are in the conversation when it comes to esports, at least on like a grander scale. But yeah. Yep, I think we got all of them. Oh, there it
get
is.
that.
Well,
Should be an interesting award show.
I guess before we close things out, is there anything that you feel like you can, within reason, expect to see at the Game Awards? I know we did talk about Black Myth earlier and how there's probably a strong chance it will be present in some kind of way. Either that's announcement for the physical release, or I guess re-announcement for the physical release, or announcement of an Xbox port.
Yeah, so outside of that, it seems like the rumors have been swirling about something from Wolverine. So
yes, I have seen that.
I'm really curious if we get something regarding that.
I would love
that. On another comic book related note, I don't have high hopes. I don't really even have moderate hopes. But it'd be nice. I think you know where I'm going
for Wonder Woman.
It'd be nice.
You know, see,
tell
here's
me if
my
this game
thing.
actually exists.
Honestly, I like at this point because you know Wonder Woman was introduced at the Game Awards, and it's been so many years now to like for it to come back to the Game Awards, like. I kind of almost want to see it somewhere else because I don't want it just be locked to the Game Awards. If that's what they're trying to do, I don't think that's what they're trying to do. But if that is what they're trying to do, I'm like, maybe show it somewhere else, just in case,
yeah,
you know.
That's fair.
So they don't just have the Wonder Woman deal, I guess. But I mean, that would be nice. That would be nice to see Wonder Woman. There's also, I think it was at least a year ago, might be 2 years ago, that they announced a Black Panther standalone game, and I think EA is going to be working on it. No footage.
Oh, the Black Panther, and that was actually Unreal unveiled that the Black Panther
the standalone, not with Captain America. It was just
I don't remember
a Black
this
Panther
Black
game.
Panther. I don't remember this one then.
They haven't shown anything before it, so I'm not surprised.
Okay.
And that's why I was saying like it would be nice to see like some footage of the game. Or at least an update, because again, like that's the only thing I know of it. Like I don't even know if they're still planning on like working on that game or not. So it would be nice to get an update. But yeah, there's going to be a Black Panther game, and there's going to be a Captain America and Black Panther game.
Yeah, I was gonna say Unreal put some footage out about that. I think it was at. It had to be at GDC, I think, because it was like one of their technical talks.
Yeah.
Interesting. That would be cool.
That'd be cool to get an update on that. I feel like that's supposed to be. Did they put a window around that?
To
I feel
my
like they
knowledge,
said
no.
maybe not then. Maybe it's wishful thinking. I was gonna say they said like next year, or like 2 years or something. But
that would be cool. Another thing, I just thought about it again. The Dark Souls 3 remaster. If that, I mean, obviously it was a very rumor that's even in development. But look, maybe people are starting to talk about it because something will come up at the Game Awards.
maybe that would be cool. That would be an interesting pick for the remaster treatment, considering Bloodborne and how many people want to see that remade. Or not, sorry, remaster, remake of.
I wonder how much of that is Sony.
You know, a lot of people have been wondering that as well. I don't know. It could be the case. I don't know. It just, even the thing that I ask with that though is, even if that is the case, like, they don't have to release it everywhere. Like, they could still just release it on the Sony platform. Would they make as much money from it? I don't think so. Because Bloodborne, I believe you can play it on PC now. That might be a lie. I feel like I have seen people play on PC, but I don't know if it got official PC release.
Fair.
But yeah, there's definitely more money to be made if they did release it on multiple platforms instead of just on PlayStation, just with like the fame that Bloodborne has kind of accrued over the years. So I don't see why Sony would be dragging their feet up on that. That's kind of interesting, but
yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah, but DS3, that's one of the more popular Dark Souls games that I'm aware of, so I could see it being remade. I was on Reddit kind of looking at what people's thoughts were about the remake, and some people were saying like they don't necessarily see why remake Dark Souls 3 when Dark Souls 2, I guess, feels a little bit more dated to people. But I don't know. People be doing stuff out of order all the time. We got Silent Hill 2 remake before we got Silent Hill 1, so
yeah, I mean, they look at what'll probably sell the best.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else could be there, or what would I hope to see there. I would I'm trying to think. There was an Xbox game that's coming out next year. I mean, having something about South of Midnight would be cool. I kind of feel like, given the recent previews and whatnot, they probably wouldn't, but
yeah, that's what I was thinking, considering that was a full documentary.
Yeah.
So I'd be shocked if they were on top of that.
Maybe something for Avowed, since that'll be releasing kind of beginning of the year. I could see that. Let's see. Maybe Assassin's Creed Shadows? That's probably pretty likely.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, because I feel like you're probably going to be like, well, let's show the people why we delayed this, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know we gave her whatever our spiel, but let's show what we meant.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see Death Stranding 2 being there, just because Jeff's all about his Kojima. And probably Marvel Rivals, because
that'll be just fresh out.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, does it come out the same day as the Game Awards?
No, I think it comes out on the 6th of December.
Oh, well, maybe they'll do something special there. I don't know. You'd be like, hey, we're out, come play. Free to play.
Yeah, it comes out December 6th.
Okay. That could be something. They could do something for Indiana Jones. I don't know.
When does that come out?
That comes out some point in December. I can't remember. That rhymed. But they have not done a good job of showcasing that game. So I'm halfway like yes, please do it right. Halfway, like, don't bother doing it if you're just gonna keep doing the same thing you've been doing.
Yeah, the last I've heard about that game was when they announced it was coming to PlayStation.
Yep.
Which is like crazy because not that it's coming to PlayStation. It's I honestly I think it's a sound strategy.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I think what they're doing is what everybody's ultimately going to do, and you can already see the shifts within PlayStation, honestly, with them moving some exclusives over to Xbox. And I didn't even think about this. Literally, I think it was 2 years ago. Like, Persona was no longer locked to PlayStation, so now you can play Persona everywhere. And like, that's,
Right.
at least for me, that's a huge deal. But yeah, the way they're going about it, only 3 months of exclusivity. I'm like, come on. Like, if we're gonna do like timed exclusivity, I say give it at least 6 months. At least 6 months.
3 months is short. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think just in general, I wonder if it's. I wonder if they're just not that high on this game.
I mean, possibly. They haven't done a great job of showing it, so.
That's where I'm thinking, like, maybe they're just not super high on this game, and so they're like, we just kind of need to get it out there at this point.
I think that they should, and this is, it's gonna make Xbox mad. They should have started with Starfield, done that one first, because like people, they're Starfield isn't like home run kind of game or anything, but it's a game that a lot of people have enjoyed, and there are people on PlayStation still kind of curious about when it's going to come over. So I think that could have been a little bit more of a sure thing in terms of like getting some sales. Indiana Jones, at least for me, is questionable right now.
You don't think it's gonna get no sales? That's all I'm hearing.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm just like, the way that they have been showcasing it so far, I wouldn't be surprised if that affects like how many people want to purchase it versus maybe try it on Game Pass, which is a whole other thing in itself. But they have not done the best job of marketing it for me, which this year, game marketing wise, I think Microsoft has been very iffy.
Interesting.
Yeah. Still love it, but I gotta tell the truth.
That you do.
The truth.
That you do.
Yep. But yeah, I'm sure there are probably other things that will come to my head after we get done recording this. So maybe
that's how it always is.
Yeah, like maybe I'll put in a comment or something, or maybe like when we revisit like who we voted for, we could talk about it some more.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming through for this, dude. It's been good talking about this. Yeah, I'm really curious to see like how things are gonna stack up, because this is another, I think, competitive year for the Game Awards.
I would agree. I am very interested. Thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, if the people want to support you, where can they find you and what you've been up to?
You can find me at dig_DEE everywhere. I forgot. You got to add like the .blue sky or whatever if you're following me there.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube page is DigD, where I don't think it'll be done as of the time of this recording, but in the coming weeks there will be a new animated Unreal short out. Mm-hmm. My first animated Unreal short, so that's very exciting, but that should be getting ready to be out. And all of my geeky stuff over on Geek Set Podcast, where we have just wrapped filming on a new show that will be coming out after the new year. So please be on the lookout for that as we release clips and just sort of talk more about it.
Awesome. We'll definitely look forward to that. We'll talk about that. Probably beginning of next year. I think there's some kind of awards thing happening, so maybe we'll talk about it there.
I'm sure.
But yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. The video. Definitely let us know your thoughts about some of these categories, especially for like shout out to Erdtree being nominated. Like, are you mad about it? You can be honest. You can tell us. Are you mad about it? Are you like, you know what? That's fair. I'm curious because there's been some discourse about it. But yeah, definitely feel free to leave your thoughts. And until next time, hope you guys have a nice evening or night. Just enjoy it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Bye.
Saw this so sad.